Hey there, hi there, ho there. It's Woke Wednesday. It's Hump Day. It's, what else is it? There's it's that day of the week, midweek, when we're thinking about how long till Friday, right? And I certainly am. Well, I don't know. Not really. I just can't take it anymore. I'm mad as hell and I can't take it anymore. Just like the dude from Network. Is that the show? Was that the movie Network? The guy's, I'm mad as hell and I can't take it anymore. Our world's going nuts. And we have that guy in office that just isn't helping anything, man. And the news gets more depressing and more depressing. But we always have beer, and beer is good. And I am in the middle of a video that I'm making about a little trip we took this last weekend back to one of our favorite breweries in the States, about 40 miles south of where I live. And so, when things get bad, think about beer. I'm just saying. So today on the Woke Wednesday edition of the Morning Night Live on Hump Day, we will, I'll give you an update on the Afghanistan crap, but I kind of stuck to the Woke Wednesday theme today, just various articles in the news and things where you go, what's wrong with these people? One of these days I'm going to start, getting into woke TikTok, even though I don't have a TikTok. There's a couple accounts on Twitter that highlight some of the wokeness on TikTok. That's a trip. Because, right now it's all about control of the language, though. Everything's about control of language. I mean, if you just think of the gender BS. By the way, my cup of reparations is a big cup of lemonade. Hopefully that'll keep me from coughing in the middle of the show. It's all about everyone wants to change your language. And I don't get it. Is it just another way to control people? And TikTok Tuesday. Yeah, that's an idea. We'll see. Anyway, so we're going to kind of stick to the woke theme today, even though I got to kind of give you an update on some of the Afghanistan crap. And that's just how it is. Just the way it is. Some things will never change. Play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawgKnight. Yeah. Stop the music. All right. Good morning, everybody. Or good morning. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live post-noon edition where I live. And I'm just glad you're here back on the PDawgKnight Channel. I am your host, Marty, also known as PDawgKnight on the internet. And nice to see a bunch of you jumped in already. It's the 18th of August, 2021. And boy, oh boy. Just so much going on. And I'm trying not to lose it. I'm trying to stay laid back because I'm in the middle of, like I said, I'm in the middle of editing some videos that make me happy. And it's a lot, that the show doesn't make me happy. You guys make me happy. I enjoy doing this. And there are just those days where you go, yeah, stop the world. I want to get off. Whatever happened to the sweet meteor of death? He was running for president in 2008. Or was it 2012? I can't remember when he first ran for president, but I voted for him. I Oh, no, that was in 2016, 2012, 2016. I voted for the sweet meteor of death. And I thought that would be because at the time, I really didn't have a whole lot of confidence in, I didn't have a whole lot of confidence in Trump, and I sure as hell did not want Hillary to be our president. And look, Trump, personality-wise, not my thing, but I think he did a decent job as a president. And I think that, so we've been talking about this Afghanistan thing, and I know I'm kind of jumping back and forth, but when I said this the other day when Biden made a speech, and we're talking about how Biden decided that the agreement between the United States of America and the Taliban was flexible according to what Biden wanted to do, and some of his advisors. By the way, you realize all of Biden's advisors are the exact same people who were President Obama's advisors during the Benghazi bullshit, right? Anyway, except for Hillary Clinton. I don't think Hillary Clinton's involved, at least not in, not visibly. I don't know where the Clintons are behind the scenes in this. But what I was saying is, when I was talking about how the United States of America broke its agreement with the Taliban, because I think the Taliban was ready to just prepared to stay out of the shit for at least a few years, even though the agreement said 20, right? And but here's what I think, because a lot of people say, oh, this is Trump's fault. He told us we'd get out of Afghanistan. Oh, it'd all be the same even if Trump had done it, it would have been the same. And I'm thinking to myself, I think the Taliban realized that, what's that guy's name that when they attacked some Americans and Trump ended him? Soleimani. Remember that guy? I think that the negotiations with the Taliban, for even though they're a bunch of shitbag terrorist pricks, they at least recognize that if the guy with the funny hair had been in office, and they pulled some shenanigans after we left by May 1st, like we were supposed to, with all our own, destroying the weapons that we can't take and whatnot, instead of just giving them all of our weaponry, which I still haven't figured out why they hadn't started taking care of that shit. But anyway, of course, a lot of it they gave to the Afghans. But look, here's my point. I think the Taliban would have, at least for a few years, at least during the rest of Trump's years, had he been, I don't want to say properly inaugurated as, never mind. Anyway, here's the thing, and I'm trying to get to it. I know it's taken me forever to get to this, but had Trump been in office right now and he had the troops out by May 1st, and I don't think the Taliban would have taken all over everything right away. You know why? Because of Soleimani. All Trump has to say, hey, if you go back on our agreement, because we're gonna honor our agreement, we're gonna be out of there by May 1st, and you're gonna let the Afghan government for at least 20 years to do their thing, even though it would have only been during the rest of Trump's term. I think he said, and if you don't, remember that guy named Soleimani, whatever the hell his name is. You remember that guy, Soleimani? Yeah, that. And that is what I think the Talibanians would have understood and respected. But our guy now changed the agreement between the United States of America and the Taliban. And the Taliban said, this guy has no respect for us. We're not going to respect anything anymore from the United States of America. That's my opinion. That is my opinion, and I'm sticking with it. And you know what? No, we can't trust the Taliban. And so you trust them to not want to be Soleimani'd. And that's that. All right, before I give you my Afghanistan update, and move on into the Woke Wednesday portion of the show, I want to say good afternoon to the people who are here, and welcome, welcome, welcome. So I'm going to scroll up here. Now, I'm not sure if this is accurate because I think there was a little jump in the chat, but I'm just going to, Mike Savage is at the top, and I'm going to give it to Mike Savage. Blarg, who's here first and gets the bell. Thank you for being here, sir. Greatly appreciate it. Also, Gunfox61, our Discord server aficionado and keeper of the flame. Thank you, sir, for being here and your service. Good afternoon, James Colley, who says good morning. I'm really digging these afternoon shows. Get on with it, Boomer. Yes, I am. And we have Uncle Bad Touch. We know who you really are.
Come on, man.
Just stop sniffing them girls. Also, good morning, Keenan. Or good afternoon, Keenan. Also in the chat today, wow, you guys have been talking up a storm. Diesel Dave, what is up? Yeah, smash the like button while you're here. Also, thank you, sir. Jonathan Peterson, happy day after your birthday. And also, Tyler F., what's happening? Tales of Gore, nice to see you back. I know the afternoon shows are better for you. Good afternoon, Busters Outlaws. So that throws me off because I thought maybe your name's Busters, but it's Busters Outlaws. So you belong to Buster. You're not exactly Buster yourself. Also, good morning, good afternoon, my favorite Canadian Jaeger Pony. Hello, Kiever Dam. Stream has been shared. Yes, you have. Thank you for doing that. Share the stream on social medias, or you can repost whatever, retweet whatever they call it on whatever social media you're on. Let's see. Avocados Diablos at the house. The Devil's Advocate. Attack Alpaca. Also, hello, MC.
Stop. Hammer time.
And also Jesse Leon, Jim Beam, Maddie, Evil Ferret. Nice to see you. Legit Low Talker is in the house. Also, hello, Sydney Oberg. Nice to see you, my friend. Aaron Meredith. What's up? Zero the Hero. Dumbbeard is here. Nice to see you. And I think most DI Freighter Watcher, Shygon, LA Prepper. Hi to all of you. And I think I'm caught up. Just about. Oh, and BG. Was that BG? Yes, BG. As bad as the situation is, it's kind of funny hell seeing the Taliban trolling the U.S. about freedom of speech, pointing out Facebook and Twitter shutting down speech worse than them. Yeah, that's a little propaganda they got. They are effectively using. Also, I still laughing about the people talking about making a big deal about how they're demanding that the Taliban be inclusive and something with women and girls. Oh, Jesse Leon, hey Camel, nice to see you. And Cannibalistic Wizard. Yeah, the whole thing with the be inclusive in women and girls. You know what? The Taliban basically just runs roughshod with barely firing a gun, barely a bullet flown, run right off over the country of Afghanistan. And we've got dumbasses in our Congress and in the UN and other world leaders talking about how the Taliban needs to prove that they believe in human rights and yabba yabba yabba. They're like, motherfucker, we just rolled roughshod of the entire country. Who gives a shit what you think? This country is ours, and you don't have anything to say. But they're out there, doing press conferences, and I think it's almost as if the Chinese have been writing their propaganda, though, because it's very sophisticated propaganda with that Facebook shit. And next thing you know, they're going to be talking about our human rights abuses. It's going to be some shit. Oh, and Maddie wrote a song over here. Come, Mr. Taliban, take over my country. Daylight comes and another city falls. Come, Mr. Taliban, U.S. troops are gone now. Daylight comes and another city falls. 2 foot, 3 foot, hold daylight. Oh, wait. One, take over my country. 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot holds. Daylight come and another. Okay. We're gonna have to work on that one, but it's quite catchy. Anyway, so thank you, Maddie, for your talented lyric writing abilities. I appreciate it. Okay, all right. Oh, Zero the Hero, how you doing? The Taliban doesn't care. Exactly, they don't give a fuck what anybody else in the world thinks about it. So anyway, let's get caught up in some of that news. Sorry, I'm swearing. I've sworn more the last 3 days than I have almost the entire time I've run this show. And it's crazy. So I'm just gonna go into Ace has a great update, or Ace has the whole thing kind of in a nutshell here as far as the update. And this is just terrible. Here, I'm gonna make this bigger so y'all can see it a little easier, just because I can. All right, let's see hang on a second here. Let's do that. Oh, what? That's not what I meant to do. What the hell was that? Hang on here. Let's okay, here we go. Just in case you want to read along at home. Let's see here. Scroll up. There we go. All right. More failure. The U.S. government sends out an email telling Americans to make their way to the airport, but the U.S. is not in control of the roads, and the Taliban have encircled the airport and are shooting people who try to get in. Well done, Joe Biden. Well freaking done. Hello, broken word. Taliban be dropping some telepanties. I don't know what that means. And the Taliban aren't just shooting at people. They're also whipping them with chains. Yay! I would say this is incredible, but that's a lot like inconceivable, isn't it? Now, via one of the commenters on Ace's blog here, the claim that U.S. troops have been ordered not to leave the airport to help secure evacuees. Oh, that's a claim. Okay, that claim. And this is causing shouting matches with the UK troops there who are venturing out to escort people to the airport. Also, I know the French have sent troops there, and they have pictures of themselves trying to escort people out. But for some reason, the Americans can't do that. I don't know. I don't know if it's true, but it's so awful that you just think it probably is. So, friction at airport between U.S. and UK forces commanders. The U.S. forces won't leave the airport due to Taliban deal. Still running patrols into Kabul to collect people from safe houses. U.S. unhappy with Paras, that's the UK unit, saying it puts their deal at risk. Things are so bad between U.S. and UK forces at Kabul airport that, oh my gosh, two of the para, or whatever, the English forces have been tasked to observe U.S. forces in case they leave on short notice. They had a screaming match with the 82nd Airborne. Para very unhappy at treatment of Afghans by U.S. forces. Meanwhile, two para, again, that's the English unit, running constant patrols into Kabul to collect British, Irish, and Afghan nationals due for evacuation. Any other nationality also picked up if at a location. Taliban are aware of patrols and are taking no action. UK forces very much running their own operations. Well, fucking great. But you know what? Good for them. At least they're doing something. Let's see. Now here's the, I think this is the email. I don't know if this is real or not. To American citizens, thank you for registering your request to be evacuated from Afghanistan. The U.S. Embassy in Afghanistan has confirmed that an undefined number of U.S. government-provided flights will begin soon. Please make your way to Hamid Karzai International Airport at this time. Please be advised that the United States government cannot guarantee your security as you make this trip. Great. Great. Fucking great. Someone named Breonna Keller. It gets worse. Two Taliban fighters just came up with their pistols and they were ready to pistol whip our producer. We had to intervene and scream. I've covered all sorts of crazy situations. This is mayhem. this was nuts. Okay, so this is the, let's see, shot ring out behind Clarissa Ward as she stands less than 200 yards from the entrance to the Kabul airport. It's definitely chaotic, she says. Let's see if this link works. Just a second here. We'll play that. Hello, it's C. Thomas. Oh my gosh. How you doing, man? Nice to see you back. Long time. All right, so here, let's hear this. Shots ring out is clear. Okay, here. Let's look at this report. It's 8 minutes long. You know what? Normally I don't like long reports, but I want to see what she says. I don't know if any of you've seen this. Nice. She's back in her burqa, so obviously she's outside of the airport.
Let me try to explain to you the situation where we are. It's very hectic. You can probably hear those gunshots. We're about 200 yards, even less than 200 yards away from the entrance to the Kabul airport. We just drove through it quickly. It's absolutely impossible to stop there. And I say we drove through it quickly. You can't drive through it quickly. It's bumper to bumper. Cars are barely moving. There are Taliban fighters all around. We actually did see them physically with truncheons trying to get them back. We have seen them and heard them a lot as well, firing on the crowds to disperse the crowds. It's a little difficult to see from this vantage point, and it's a slightly edgy situation, so I don't want to push our luck, but all along...
She's pushing her luck just being out there. I'm just saying. Now, obviously, she does have her hijab on, or what is it? Hijab? She has a hijab on. But you know what? She's, hey, this woman, even though this is CNN, I give her credit. I think she has much larger gonads than Chris Cuomo and his sorry ass still whimpering for his brother. And all these tough guys. Remember the tough guys? Oh, by the way, you probably don't even know what I'm talking about. Don Lemon and Chris Cuomo the other night were talking about how they'd like to beat some guy up who was being a dickhead on a train. And also, the guy was being a dickhead on the train, but still. All right, let's see. I do want to listen to this. By the way, I see Selected Boys in the house.
Yeah, boy.
Nice to see ya. Okay, let's see here.
Along the roadside over there, there's just hundreds of people who are basically waiting, desperately trying to get out of the country. It's not clear if they have their paperwork in order, if they've been declined and told that they can't enter the gates, or if they simply don't have the wherewithal to get inside. And cameraman Will Bonnet's
just like, the dudes here lining the road just watching her. I don't know. Do you have Radar watch her? Yes, she works for CNN, but I'm kind of like, at least she's in the shit. She's in it. And I respect that. And yes, CNN, they're shitbags. But anyway.
just panning off right now. You can see it's a pretty large crowd who's formed around us already, because this is a slightly unusual situation to be doing live shots from here, I think. But it's definitely chaotic. It's definitely dangerous. I will say this. The Taliban appears to be trying to disperse the crowds, and there are crowds there of young men.
This is the one who said... This is the one that said when they were chanting "Death to America," but they just seem they seem unusually happy or jovial or something like that. And it's just weird. So yeah, I got you. That's her. Okay, that's her until they decide that they're gonna keep her. You know what I'm saying? They decide they're going to keep her, she'll be changing her tune.
Who seem to be just engaging in like criminal activity. I don't know if you heard that. They're
Sapphire Dragon, how you doing?
Running towards the Taliban and then running away from them again.
Yeah, the guys in the background they're all just staring at her like she's an alien, which she kind of is. It's just weird. It's weird. Lee Bruce, how you doing? Yes, reminded them of a mostly peaceful BLM protest. This is true. Yes, that's true.
Almost like it's a game, but you know, when there's bullets firing like that, Brianna and John, it's clearly not a game.
We heard the gun.
Now, also the other thing you notice as she talks, her eyes and head is on a swivel. Like, no, well, she is looking around, being very, very wary of her surroundings. It's interesting.
Gunfire there, Clarissa. Give us a sense if the Taliban is firing into the crowds, at people, or is it crowd dispersal?
If she goes down with a bullet, then you'll know. What is this? This is next level even for her. Like all these guys just surrounding her. It's just weird. Let's see, what else is she saying here?
Into the air. Are they letting anyone through?
From what we can see, and from what we could see, we only had a very limited vantage point. They're firing to disperse the crowds. They're not targeting people. They're not trying to kill people. But of course, the minute you're firing willy-nilly, when you have a bunch of civilians all over the road, and
when you fire willy-nilly, it reminds me of a song. What goes up must come down. Spin. Okay, now I'm not going to sing Spin a Wheel, but what goes up must come down. Those bullets are going to come down somewhere, so somebody might catch one. Who knows?
Civilian vehicles, people get hurt. That's what happens. So there's not a huge amount of discipline, let's say, to use an understatement, in the ways in which they are dispersing the crowd. We did see some people behind the concertina wire implying that they had been able to get into that first perimeter. But I'm not going to lie. I mean, you're running the gauntlet to try to get in there because there are so many different things going on. You could just hear.
Notice that she's nervous as fuck too. Yes, Thomas, I know you're first. Can't we just change the name to Egadistan? Well, the Taliban has changed the name of the country. Now, I don't recognize it because, one, I can't remember what it is. So I'm just going to stay Afghanistan until someone tells me otherwise, or until someone redraws a map or whatever. I don't even know why it's called Afghanistan because, well, whatever. They named it something, Islamic State something, whatever, but who cares?
The gunfire is pretty much constant as the Taliban tries to push people back. And as a result, you're just getting lots of people on the roads surrounding the airport, like the one we're on, less than 200 yards away. You're just getting lots and lots of people sitting by the roadside. Some of them have their bags, and they're just obviously have no idea how they can get out.
And I know, Clarissa, that your cameraman, Will, is there, it looks like, on a tripod. But I'm just wondering if he can pan around a little more so that we can see.
Now, I wonder if this is where this happens, because she said something about, what did she say? Shattering out behind her, she stands. Two Taliban fighters just came up with their pistols, and they were ready to pistol whip our producer. We had to intervene and scream. I've covered all sorts of crazy situations. This is mayhem. This is nuts. And that's her saying that. Oh, I see. Is this the same? I don't know if this is the same video, if this is going to be in this video or not. That's what I was trying to figure out.
The scene there, not too far from the Kabul airport.
Well, could you just pan around a little bit more to get a bit more of the scene? I'll step out to the side. You can see we've got this crowd around us, which is never great because you know, crowds are always a little bit dangerous. And most of these people, let me ask you, sir, are you waiting here to get out, or what are you doing here?
Yeah, the most of the people they're crowded in here. Yeah, they're working with the American, with the ISAF. Right. They all have the documents for the recommendations, everything. Right. The Joe Biden every day they announce we take these guys they're working with the American or with the ISAF. Yeah. We take them to the America. But they are liars. Yes, they take these guys. They have. Did you work with the Americans? Yes, of course, of course. There is all like more than 50,000 people there crowded here. Today, all of them has gone to the homes. This is so less people now. They're here. Fewer people here now than yes. A couple of days ago. Yeah, our home is here. But all there's many flights empty. Did you try to get in? Yeah, but the Taliban didn't let you to go in. Why? They're not let you. What did they tell you? They're telling us just stay here. The American says we take these guys. They have the American passport or American British, or they have the green cards. We take him. Otherwise, you have to stop here or to stay here. We tell them we cannot stay here because every day, the Joe Biden says we take these all the Afghan workers there help us. Right. We take them to the America.
Have you applied? Have you tried to apply?
Yes, of course.
So there. So this guy is chopping at Joe Biden, directly at Joe Biden. This is. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. This is crazy. These are all, so what he's saying is all these people are ones who are trying to get out, even though their home is here. That is wild.
And what happened?
They tell us we have to bring the HR letter update for the 2021, but it's impossible. All the companies locked down in 2014. It's very hard to find
lots of people in the same situation.
Yeah, all the same. They have an HR letter, but they doesn't have the recommendation letter. But most of them they lost their badge.
Right.
So
what's your message to America right now?
It's our message to America. We help the American people, so that's their jobs to help right now here. There's a very bad situation. If someone know that you work with somebody, so the direct.
I'm just going to fake you, sir. Can I just bring you in? You have a green card?
Yeah, see, this is my green card.
This is your green card. He's showing me a picture right now of his green card. That's his green card.
On his iPhone.
So you
it's just, I see this and I'm like, it's just so weird because, you think of this as this backwards ass country and this guy's coming up with his picture of his green card on his iPhone. It's just, there's just the juxtaposition of this and what's going on there is just kind of humorous to me. Anyway, the world gets smaller and smaller, right?
You have a green card.
Yeah. And
by the way, hi Renee Mayette. I don't know if I said hi yet, but good afternoon. Nice to see you. Left them all to hang out to dry. That is true, and that's what we did. And, but no, I'm curious when they start interviewing these Afghan people, if they ever ask them about Donald Trump. I haven't, obviously this guy's complaining specifically about Joe Biden, leaving them behind, letting them down. We helped you, and now you need to help us. And he keeps saying Joe Biden by name, not the Americans, but Joe Biden by name. And where's Joe? Well, who knows? Who knows? We don't know where Joe is hiding in the Camp David, and he won't show.
And I have flight on August 20 this Friday.
Right.
I already fill out the application for the U.S. Embassy.
Right.
And this is the emails that I got from the U.S. Embassy.
Hi, Luna. Hi,
so
user,
did you
yes.
try to get in to the airport?
Yeah, I did. But
and what did the Taliban say?
Like the Taliban say, we don't know, just go. We don't want to try to let you in. And like they say, we don't have flights and we don't have
They
anything.
don't have flights.
Yeah,
okay.
they just say, but they do have a flight.
Okay.
They have flights, yes.
But you're getting an impression, John and Brianna. I mean, look, I'm surrounded here, okay? And everybody here has got a story. People work for the Americans. One man has a green card. He already has his flights booked. Now they're
Joe
pressing
Hyde.
in. They want desperately to tell their stories. They want the Americans to know because they're not able to get past those checkpoints. They're not able to get past the Taliban fighters. John, Brianna?
Clarissa, first of all, whatever you need right now, however you feel, you're in charge with this, right? If you need to go, if you need to get safe, let us know at any minute. If you're comfortable where you...
Look, okay, what an idiot. If she needs to go, if she figures out she needs to go, it's probably already too late. So just hang in there, Clarissa, even though... How happy are they sounding now, though, Clarissa? How happy did they sound now? Because the other day you were saying, well, that was the Taliban, but still.
You are.
I will.
This is important to see because what we are seeing now is the disconnect between what the United States says is happening, it needs to happen, with what can happen. If there are thousands of Afghans that the United States has promised to get out of the country, but they can't get to the airport, that's a disconnect. it's showing that it's not a reality.
I mean, and that's what's so crazy, John. You're talking about some of these people, they have their paperwork. This man has a green card. If you are a U.S. green card holder, you should be allowed to get into that airport. But the problem is, it is such a chaotic situation, and the Taliban understands how this looks. The Taliban knows that having thousands of people on the streets desperately trying to press into the airport because they're so frightened, because they just want more than anything to leave, they know that that looks bad. So it is not entirely surprising that the Taliban is not exactly embracing this sort of mass exodus. The question becomes,
well, what benefit is it to the Taliban these people leave? And honestly, what is the benefit for them? They don't care. You know? Oh boy. All right, let's get back into let me get back into this. Now let's see. Taliban fighters everywhere outside Kabul airport fire shots at crowd who try to enter the facility. Now I'm probably not gonna show what they say here. Content warning for below tweets which contain photo of a child who is either bloodied by wounds or dead. Skip to comments if you don't want to see it. Okay, all right. I'm gonna take this off the screen first because I really don't want to show it on YouTube either. Anyway, graphic warning. Taliban fighters use gunfire, whips, sticks, and sharp objects to maintain crowd control over thousands of Afghans who continue to wait for a way out on Airport Road. At least half dozen were wounded while I was there, including a woman and her child in Kabul. I won't show the pictures of that. And then this, Liz Wheeler. Okay, the OAN people tweet the bloody child. Great. Look at this photo of a bloody child as the Taliban whips people with chains outside the Kabul airport. A man carries his child. He's not the only one showing it. Carries a bloody child as a woman lay wounded on the street. This woman's out. Oh my God. After Taliban fighters use gunfire, whips, sticks, and sharp objects to maintain crowd control over thousands of Afghans. In the comments, I'm just skipping the pictures, but I'll put this back up without the pictures. That kid isn't bloody, he's dead. There are pics out there showing a clear bullet wound to his lower back, and his eyes are rolled back and blank. He's gone. Another norm restored. Thanks, never Trump. Oh, that's a brutal comment. Bagram Air Base would have been much better placed to mount a huge military evacuation mission than the airport with one runway half controlled by the Taliban. Too bad we closed it before making sure people are out safe. Yeah, so that airport in Kabul has one, I think it's like a 4,000 foot runway, and I think Bagram had, it would have held, well, it wouldn't be right in the middle of the populous city either, but then you'd still have the traffic going out. If only, and this last part, if only a legitimate, mentally capable president had conditioned our withdrawal on the Taliban offering safe passage to all who wanted to depart, with the implicit threat that we would start tactical bombing if they didn't. That's what I'm talking about. I could have sworn I said something like that. Just put the threaten give them the Soleimani treatment. Anyway, also on Rasmussen, Biden's ratings plummet after bloody fiasco in Kabul, fall to 46%. These Alaputta and the Bulwark are going to have to work extra hard to spin for their demented rapist. Okay, I'm not accusing Joe Biden of that, even though he may have. The Rasmussen Reports Daily Presidential Tracking Poll for Wednesday shows that 46% of likely voters approve of President Biden's job performance, 54% disapprove. That's quite a swing. That's a 10-point swing in the wrong direction for the president. Not that I give a shit about his ratings. I want these people out of Afghanistan. The latest figures include 26% who strongly approve of the job Biden is doing. And this gives a presidential approval rating index of -19. A Reuters poll also sees Biden slipping. I mean, slipping in the polls. President Joe Biden approval rating dropped 7 percentage points and hit its lowest level so far as the U.S.-backed Afghan government collapsed over the weekend here in an upheaval that sent thousands of civilians and Afghan military allies fleeing for their safety, according to a Reuters Ipsos poll. The National Opinion Poll conducted on Monday found that 46% of American adults approved of Biden's performance in office, the lowest recorded in weekly polls that started when Biden took office in January. Yeah, I don't know how you approve somebody who is not even there. He's sleeping. Sir Shaggy, what's up? It is also down from the 53% who felt the same way in a similar Reuters poll that ran on Friday. That's, oh boy. This is even better. If we held a snap election today, Biden would only get 37% of the vote. Stunning new poll numbers from Rasmussen reports suggest nearly 1 in 10 Democrats regret their vote in the 2020 presidential election, with 12% of moderates saying the same and 14% of Black Americans expressing regret. Good Lord. Furthermore, asked how people would vote if a presidential election were held today, just 37% said they would vote for Joe Biden, down from 45% who said they did. 43% said they would vote for Donald Trump. The National Polls adds Joe Biden's approval numbers continue to decline, while numbers from Real Clear Politics reveal that while up to 55% of Americans thought the country was on the right track in March, that number plummeted to 31% today. Good Lord. Never Trumpers are talking up how outraged and shocked they are that Joe Biden, known as the stupidest man in the Senate for 40 years, which is no easy feat, as well as a senator even more liberal than Barack Hussein Obama, turned out to be an incompetent, stupid, reckless left-winger. Oh, let's see. Will this click on here? I don't know.
I hope there's awards that are going to go to the crew of that C-17, because they violated basically every Air Force regulation and packing that many people in there. And in the long run, that's going to end up saving a lot of people's lives. How did this get so mismanaged? I don't understand. Keep in mind, Wolf, just a few months ago, we shut down Bagram Air Force Base.
How?
Bagram was a secure military installation with a gigantic airfield. Can you imagine if we still had that? We vacated that in the middle of the night. We surprised the Afghans when they woke up and we were gone. If we had that, and we could now be processing the Civ applicants through that.
Right? So Adam Kinzinger, of all people, saying this. Holy mackerel. You voted for him, assholes. Hope it was worth it to dunk on your Twitter enemies. By the way, a commenter linked a tweet by Raheem Kassam. Big story coming today. I mean, really big. Biden waving hand emoji. What does that mean? As in by B-Y-E? D-E-N? Fascinating. All right. Well, enough about Afghanistan for today, because I don't want to lose my lunch. You didn't hear the video? Or did we hear it? Did you hear the video? Did you hear that video with Adam Kinzinger? How could you not? Oh, you know what? Gunfox, if you only it was only in the right channel, that may be why. Are you not if you're not wearing headphones, you may be only getting one channel. Sorry about that. And I don't really know how to make that change, because that's from the website. All right, let's I do have one other thing. This is and adding insult to injury. So, you know how Biden's deadline was to be September 11th, right? Well, now, get this. Now the Taliban is telling him, they're telling him now that forces need to be out by September 11th. There's no longer him telling us when they're going to be out. They're telling him. The Taliban, which is now taking control of Afghanistan, and its government has issued a warning to Joe Biden to get everyone he wants out of the Middle Eastern nation by the set deadline, even though they're having trouble letting people in the airport. After the White House deployed more military to oversee the evacuation of United States forces and Afghan interpreters, the Taliban has told Biden that everyone has to be out by September 11th, the 20th anniversary of the terrorist attack on New York City, Washington, D.C., and Pennsylvania, according to Newsweek. The Taliban media spokesman, Suhail Shaheen, said in an interview with Sky News that the Taliban has not received any financial aid from Russia, China, or Pakistan, but that they had good relationships with them. I bet they got some little help from all three of them, to be truthful. Hello, Longfish. Nice to see you. And Zero the Hero. Well, thank you, Dumb Beard. With the most patriotic donation sponsor ever of all times, the 1776 and Dumb Beard.
You are the new Streamlabs
Superstar Donor of the Day. Thank you, sir, with the 1776, who says, remember, there are 4 lights. Okay, somebody please explain that to me, because I'm not getting it. But there are 4 lights. That is the message. Thank you, sir, for the donation, and I greatly appreciate it. You are the new Streamlabs Superstar Donor of the Day. And by the way, since we're in sponsor mode, ladies and gentlemen, the Morning Night Live, even the afternoon edition, is brought to you by you, the viewers of the Morning Night Live. Please share this stream out on any social media, or you can just follow me on any social media and just repeat what I say. And please, while you're thinking about it, because I'm here, you're here, we're all queer, let's get used to it, hit the like button and share the stream. And if you want to be a sponsor like Dumb Beard, you can do that by clicking that Streamlabs link that shows up in the chat every once in a while, or you can go to PDawgKnight.live, or you can click the super chat thing if you want to give 30% to Susan. You know what? I can't argue with you. And some people, it's a way to stay a little more anonymous than, although I don't, I'm not sharing any of my information. But anyway, sponsor the show. Sponsors are good. Sponsors are great. Just like chocolate cake. All right. Thank you very much, Dumb Beard. I appreciate it. Someone's got to be the reference to the famous scene in Star Trek, Picard getting tortured by Kardashians. Wait, like the Kardashians? Why are the Kardashians torturing Captain Picard? 4 Lights is a Star Trek reference about brain control and subjugation. Well, thank you. The Kardashians. I'm saying, what's those fake plastic surgery addled fake booty and boobies chicks doing to my Captain Picard? Gilded Liberty, how are you? Ellie Prepper's here too. Okay. All right. So, what was I? Where was I here? So anyway, now the Taliban's telling us we need to be out. This is not us choosing to leave or having an agreement. So he's on Sky News. Is this the guy that Obama? This is one of the guys that Obama let go for that deserter guy. Remember that? Then the guys in Gitmo, they had let go five freaking Taliban for that dickhead who deserted and probably, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, he said they're getting political support. They visited China and also Russia. You may have seen the reports. They said the Taliban is a great political and military force of Afghanistan. That is the reality, and they also support us. This we are getting, he said. Shahid said that they have kept their commitment not to attack United States forces, but that the U.S. had already violated its timeline. Yeah, because the U.S. Bo Bergdahl, that shitbag. Because the Circassians I thought it was more interesting when the Kardashians were attacking Picard. You know, I don't, this is right when that came out of my mouth. The first thing that came to mind was I'm sick. I'm sick. I know. Anyway, so now the Taliban's dictating when we need to leave instead of us doing it on Joe Biden's timeline, but he didn't have a freaking plan anyway. All right, let's get into Woke Wednesday, because it'd be just too easy to blow a gasket. I'm sorry. It really. So I changed the name of the stream today, if you hadn't noticed. That math is racist. And you know, because it's Woke Wednesday on Morning Night Live. And I eventually have to do something for Woke Wednesday, and this is probably a good start. Well, a good start, that's a relative term. Let me resize this so this all fits on the screen again, because I resized it before for other people. Anyway, there's this insane leftist professor insane leftist professors, there's more than one that believe this, that math is racist.
That's racist!
Uber left University of Michigan professor Deborah Ball believes that math is full of evil bigotry. On July 21st, Ball appeared on an episode of the EdFix podcast titled Fighting Racism with Mathematics to debate her insane point. Ball stated that mathematics is dominated by whiteness and racism.
That's racist!
She went on to declare her frustration at her colleagues who don't buy into her embarrassing lefty nonsense that addition and subtraction are bursting with white supremacy. I was trying to read this with a straight face and I can't! What the fuck is she talking about? Would she be happy if we changed algebra to algebro? Ball went on to say that, quote, it's difficult to figure out how to surface and unpack the ways that mathematics, for example, is a harbor for whiteness. It's difficult to surface and unpack because it's a feather-headed nonsense for mostly white teachers who need to single their wokeitude. These are the people teaching our kids how to think. Oh, my God. Well, I was going to say something about being racist to white kids, too, because there's a lot of dumbass white kids who can't do math. But, you know, in theory and in stereotype, all the Asians kids can. So it must be racist against everybody else. Deborah Ball, professor at the University of Michigan, was featured on EdFix podcast discussing the power and possibility of mathematics teaching to disrupt patterns of racism and oppression. Does anybody surprised that this is what this woman looks like? Is she just the typical white liberal? Oh my God. But wait, there is more. Hello, Logan F. How does she calculate that it's racist? Well, I guess we're going to find out by reading more. Ball co-wrote an article. Oh, I have to. Here, hang on. We're opening that bad boy. Ball co-wrote an article for the Detroit Free Press in which she argued that racism, not personal behavior, accounts for the out-of-proportion suspension rates of minority kids. The article then goes on to hit every point on the woke checklist. Quote, the curriculum has also been unsafe. How can the curriculum be unsafe? Oh God. It has detached students of color, LGBTQIA plus students, and multilingual children as they learn that they are not normal, with images, knowledge, people, and values that permeate histories, science, and art, as well as mathematics, language, and text are harmful. They distort the experience of the indigenous people, of Black communities, and of immigrant groups. They reinscribe whiteness, heteronormativity, and English as normal and desirable. Okay, oh my God, this one's cracked. This one's cracked. Hello, Kamer Feline. Thank you, C. Thomas Peasant. Nice to have you back, and thank you for the $5 via Super Chat. You are a sponsor of this show now, and I appreciate you as I always have. Who says, quote, when you are so woke that you unironically want to go back to the Neolithic age, all for the sake of a straw-stuffed boogeyman. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Hello, atheist icon and faithless. It is. Okay, you know what? How is this not racist? Well, you know how, here's the thing. So I'm sure she's one of these people who would automatically just tell people that she knows that she's a white woman and she is racist. Guess what? She's right. Because she's an idiot. Anyone who's, basically she's saying it's racist against anybody who's not white. Math is racist. Hello, dumbass. Guess what? There are some smart Black people out there who can do math really good. In fact, they do it real good. Maybe not like the guys in the, up in the hills in the Appalachians and shit, but some of those Black folks are pretty smart. I promise you. And they're a lot smarter than, in fact, I bet you, that guy, who is that guy that Donald Trump, the surgeon who cut the kids apart from the head? That guy, Ben something? Yeah, him. I bet he could do math real good. And I'm just saying, I bet he's pretty good at science too, because he was a doctor. Yeah, Carson, is that his name? Yeah, Ben Carson. Yeah, I bet he was good at math. But maybe because he had, or that he was just really lucky, and those kids came apart just like that. Whoops! You just went, and it came right apart. Holy fuck! This is she's. I hate this shit. You know what? And the same thing, like with, like. You got to look up the concept of anti-racism. It's again anti-racism. She's doing some anti-racism here, and what it is, anti-racism is basically. Here's what anti-racism, because it's a brilliant name. It's a brilliant name because if you're not an anti-racist, fill in the blank, you are a pro-racist, right? But anti-racism is just basically, it's kind of like affirmative action on steroids, where remember when American Express did that thing? They had the thing where they said that they were going to try to revamp how they do things. They had the big seminars at American Express, the company, having some anti-racism training and critical race theory training, and they said, yes, you should elevate the voices of, if you're working in your groups and there's a Black person, you should elevate their voice. You should defer to them before you have an idea. What if their ideas are fucking stupid? Okay, I'm not deferring to stupid shit. And if their ideas are brilliant, then yeah, I want to listen to them. But if their ideas are stupid, then I'm like, you're stupid. I don't care what. And it's not like, oh my God. Okay, let me get back to this article because I'm going too far away from it. So here's the thing. She is describing our schools as being like a Klan rally. Schools are run by extreme leftists. You know that? That's the thing. They always complain about, this subject here, this is racist, we're racist, dead, schools are racist, whatever. You fuckers have like a monopoly on the schools. So if the people getting suspended, at a disproportionate rate, maybe they have a disproportionate behavior issues. Anyway. But Ball, isn't alone. Now, we talked about this before. A memo from the Oregon Department of Education from February 2021 promoted an online course for woke math teachers that was designed to this is, quote, dismantle, end quote, instances of, quote, white supremacy culture in the mathematics classroom, end quote. By the way, when I was in high school, I went to a high school that was, it was like the Omaha's public school version of a college prep school. And there was a large array of people of all races who went to my school. And some of the, you know, the top math student in our entire school just also happened to be our biggest star football player, Larry Station, who ended up playing linebacker at the University of Iowa, and he played for the Pittsburgh Steelers for a while, and he was a brilliant math student. Now, by saying that he was a brilliant math student, one would think he might have been Asian or white, or maybe of some kind of Indian descent. But no, Larry Station was a black man of, what's the word? ADOS, American descendant of slaves. He was a brilliant mathematician and probably would have, you know, done well in some sort of finance business or investing, which he actually was. He did become a really great investor because he got hurt when he played for the Steelers and only played like 3 years, but he invested all his money and now he's super wealthy and he's really good at math. And I just don't know how what white supremacy math? It's 1 + 1 is 2. There's no freaking nothing. There's no variable there. That's what the fuck are they talking about? Okay. Now this writer says, I've never been to a Klan rally, but I'm betting they don't study math flashcards.
These assholes.
One example of white supremacy mentioned in the tutorial was the concept of math being purely objective, an idea which the tragically woke course states is unequivocally false. So 1 + 1 = Charlottesville? Talking points. Here's some talking points for the online course that fought racism in math. Here's one of the talking points. We as math teachers tend to only talk about white male mathematicians. Really? Is that true? You know what? I took math up until first year calculus in high school. And I don't even really remember talking about the mathematicians per se at all. In fact, I had no idea. Like, for example, Pythagorean theory, you know, the Pythagorean theory. I don't know who the fuck Pythagorean is or whatever. You know what I mean? I don't know if he was white. I don't know. Here's another talking point. Most of my students don't look like that, and thus they have few mathematical role models they can identify with. Don't even show them pictures of the mathematician people. Then just take it out. I don't know who talks about the mathematicians themselves. Okay, let me ask you something. Okay, now wait a minute. I know my audience is very savvy and brilliant and shit, but can you name a mathematician you heard of in high school? I mean, I get it, you know, maybe scientists and stuff. Yeah, a lot of the scientists are white, whatever it said, but, you know, but you could always figure out other scientists. And we almost always only talk about black male basketball stars. Oh, good point. Faithless. Thank you, C. Thomas, for another Lincoln, who says, math is only racist if you're woke, unself-aware, and apply the soft bigotry. Sorry, let me start that over. I was trying to be all cool in the way I was saying this, but here we go. Math is only racist if you're woke, unself-aware, and apply the soft bigotry of low expectations to people. Yeah, math is math. It's not. There's not. You can teach. You can teach math to anybody and not even mention a person, a human being. Just tell them how it works. Even the theory's names. It doesn't even matter what the theory's names are. Thank you, Gamer Valine, with the almost 5, the closest to 5 you can get, who says, Pythagoras was Greek, and there is evidence that the Persians figured it out before him. Okay, yeah, I don't even care. Give it to the Persians, give it to the Egyptians, give it to the Chinese, give it to the Mandarins. I don't care, because you're doing you don't have to look at a human being when you're doing math. It's not a picture book. Thank you, Gamer Valine, for sponsoring the show today. Thank you, all my sponsors. Thank you so much. Let's see. And then the third talking point. Take 10 to 15 minutes a week to research, read Wikipedia, that's all you need, a not old dead white dude mathematician, and then take 5 minutes in class to tell your students about them. Include a picture. It's worth it, I swear. I never saw a picture of a mathematician in my life. My God. Oh, that's what this guy says. The writer here says the same thing, who says, I can't name any mathematicians, whether they're black or dead white dudes. Oh, wait. At the University of Buffalo's to the rescue. They have a website, oh, here we go, of black mathematician dudes, and another man with a global list of 500 black math dudes and dudettes. Suddenly mathematics doesn't seem all that systemically racist. Well, there's a lot of black people doing math, I guess. Hey, you know what? Here's what you can do. You can have them watch the movie Hidden Colors in Classroom. There you go. Then you're going to see a movie about 2 black women mathematicians. I'm sorry they don't fit the LGBTQI elemental P scale for you, but there you go. Diversity in math. But guess what? I could teach math without ever showing a picture of a human being ever. Because it's not about the human beings. It's about the numbers. And numbers don't have a color. Well, maybe okay, hang on, hold up. Because if you do it on paper and you write with black ink, well, then the ink is black. The ink is black, the page is white. Together we learn to read and write. The child is black, the child is white. I don't know the rest of the song, but that was a great song. Was it Dawg Knight? I don't know who sang that song. It was a good song. That's a good song. It's a beautiful sight. It's a beautiful sight. My God. Being woke must be exhausting. Here's another ridiculous attempt to find racism where there can't possibly be any racism. Someone named Laura Rubel. Vicious defense of math as pinnacle objectivity, which gets short-handed here as 2 + 2 = 4, is another summer virus. Take black math. Still, my fave comment on that is G. Gladson's or something like 2 hungry foxes and 2 chickens is not 4 of anything. Sure they are. Okay, here we go. 2 hungry foxes and 2 chickens does equal 4. Until we subtract each chicken when they are eaten. So, 2 hungry foxes and 2 chickens prior to any mayhem equals 4 animals that bleed red blood. And then when the foxes start creating red blood from the chickens and then they subtract each chicken, then you're back to 2 because you can't count the chickens that are in the stomachs of the foxes. Unless you're asking, oh, Maybe I should say living animals, living beings. Oh my God. Okay, I'll go two hungry foxes, because they continue. 2 hungry foxes plus 2 chickens equals 4 animals. This cannot be denied. However, when the foxes may have a fox supremacist view of chickens as being nothing better than tasty morsels. That is funny. It's not surprising that the number of homeschooled kids has risen from roughly 850,000 in 1999 to about 1.69 million in 2016. There you go. Yeah, okay, I said it's Woke Wednesday. I might not, oh gosh, I'm almost out of time here. I'm only going till 4:15 today. Let's see, I'm going to read the chat here a little bit, and remember, the Morning Night Live is sponsored by you, the viewers of the Morning Night Live. So let's see, only numbers are Arabic. Our numbers are Arabic, FFS. Yes, it's not white. Well, although, they might be considered Caucasian. Some Arabic people are considered Caucasians, even though, well, whatever. Even though some people like to refer to them as brown, black and brown people, BIPOC, black and indigenous people of color. I'm tired of this shit. Anyway, don't mean to laugh, but the song is funny. Are you familiar with that song? What's the name of that song? Anyway. Yeah, I'm waiting for the straight black women. Waiting for the straight black women are the new straight white male articles soon enough. Well, if they keep playing that Hidden Colors movie, that you might see that soon. It was written by Helen Keller. I don't know that one. Let's see. Chickens Lives Matter. They're all in cages. 4. Okay. Oh, if they're all in cages, yes. See, it'd be 4 living beings. Anyway, yeah, you can always put. See, now what she's referring to is what's known as variables, because there's some variable behavior that could be happening. My goodness, I need to go through the Discord news section. Well, maybe I'll pop over there. I have so many of these. Okay, we're doing that tomorrow for sure. It's especially for FTG Thursday. It'll be a Discord day tomorrow for sure. Now there was a allow. What's this? I don't care. No, I don't want notifications. We're gonna move on, and this is an article from this is the Detroit Free Press article. Oh, this is that lady who wrote this. Oh, she's Deborah Lowenberg Ball and Alyssa Dawn Brandon. So this is that article they were talking about. Oh, Alyssa Dawn Brandon, communication coordinator for Teaching Works, and a master's student in leadership and policy at the School of Education at the University of Michigan. So these are both University of Michigan people. A doctorate candidate or something like that. A master's candidate. Do we want to read this fresh hell? I don't know. I'll leave it open and put it in the tabs. What is this? And this is the the website of mathematicians of the African diaspora. Fan-fucking-tastic. Okay, great. There's some black people who do math. Proof! Yes, proof that black people can do math. Do you want to know why? Okay, here's the choice. We're going to go from why school isn't a safe place for every child. That's A, the opinion of these crazy people. Or B, no standard, no problem. A or B? Quickly. Choose your vote. A, why school isn't a safe place for every child. B, no standard, no problem. One will make your head hurt, and one will probably go be like, yeah. 120 news stories. Jesus Christ, Godfox. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to take the Lord's name in vain. Wow, seriously, they are using racist rhetoric and math over a little Johnny joke. There are 5 birds on a fence, and 3 get high-speed lead injections. How many are left? None, because of the noise. No, Johnny. The answer is 2. People's Front of Canada's here. Hello, sir. How you doing? Or ma'am. I'm not sure if you're a male or female. I don't know. If I misgendered you, I don't give a shit. You'll tell me eventually and I'll get it right. Because you're not a pussy. Anyway. It's kind of this fresh hell. How long is this? Oh, this is short. I'll read it until I throw up. Okay, here we go. This lady Ball, who's saying that math is racist, also is a co-author on this school, Why School Isn't a Safe Space for Every Child. Because, well, too many single parent homes. Damn, Dave. Damn. I gotta back up.
How dare you?
Woo, Lordy. Oh, by the way, Diesel Dave, I forgot. That's for you, brother. I have that horn sound for my trucking fans. Also, I think Maddie's here too. And I didn't do that. So I gotta get back on using these things. Here, let's this.
Resist, we must.
Oh, well, thank you, Reverend Al. I don't know why you said that at this particular moment. Anyway, all right, schools aren't safe because teachers aren't allowed to paddle kids anymore. That's why they're not safe. So you got kids running wild. Okay, here we go. We'll get to this, then we'll get to that. I'll read them both. I don't care. As COVID-19, excuse me, I can't say that word. Let me fix my brain just for a second so I can make sure that, what the hell? Okay, there we go. As the 19 stabs are distributed in the weeks and months ahead, our nation's students are returning to school, driven by a growing sense of urgency to end the social isolation and intermittent learning. To return to school safely during a pandemic, attention is centered on protecting student safety by ensuring disinfection, maintaining distance, and wearing masks. Ensuring students' safe return into classrooms is crucial, but safety is not only a matter of protection from the virus. Even before 19, schools were pervasively unsafe for many students, especially students of color. Consider the disproportionate punishment of Black, Indigenous, and other children of color. The results of teachers' subjective judgments and institutionalized norms about behavior. Oh, yes, the institutionalized norms about behavior. You're not supposed to hit anybody. You're not supposed to get into a fight. I bet they don't. I bet you there's artists going to talk about how Black kids are disproportionately punished for things in schools, but I bet they won't even mention the word Asian. It's always going to be black and white. The ink is black. The page is white. Anyway. Although Black students comprise 18% of Michigan's school-age population, they account for 31% of in-school suspensions and 43% of those students who've had an out-of-school suspension, one out-of-school suspension. Research shows that subjective judgments, really, are they subjective? Are they? Subjective judgments are at the root of these patterns, with teachers more likely to interpret Black students as having attitude or to punish them for wearing hats or hoods. Persistent racialized patterns in evaluation also lead to the overlabeling of Black students as special needs and disproportionate assignment to special education and under-selection for enrichment programs. What define under-selection? Okay, I'm sorry. Define under-selection. I mean, is this one of those equity things you're talking about here? It has to be equity. What if there aren't students eligible for enrichment programs? What if there's a lot of kids who need special needs programs? White students are twice as likely to be selected for gifted and talented programs. And studies show that here too, teacher judgment plays a critical role. If a kid is constantly excelling in your class, wouldn't you think that may be the selection criteria for putting them in a gifted and talented program? Because I was always in the gifted and talented programs. I was always in the advanced math class and the advanced the reading class and this class. They always try to get me to do special enrichment programs in the summer and shit like that because I was one of those smart kids. I mean, I just was one of them. And I was only one of, well, by the time I was in like 5th grade, there was probably 8 black kids in my school. I was selected. I don't know. Pat myself in the back there. Yes, I used to be smart. Anyway, white students are twice as likely to be selected for given talent programs, and studies show that here too. Teachers' judgments play a critical role. Yeah, if the kid's constantly doing well in your class, you want them to go in these programs, and I bet, I would bet that some people turn them down for the to not have an image problem. Oh, you're trying to act white. Anyway, these patterns of punishment, removal from class, labeling, and differential opportunities, false. They're not differential opportunities. I can almost guarantee it. Hello, Civic Magic. Have serious long-term consequences. Well, they do have, yes, they do. It's not the differential opportunities, but the wasted opportunities that do have long-term consequences. Certainly, there are children for whom the last year has been painful or a harmful time, or a time when the support they need was removed. You mean like the special needs guys? But for many black and brown children to be out of the white gaze of punishment and deficit views was a welcome respite from fear and control. Oh, but it's interesting. She says, for many. I mean, if this was really a serious problem, wouldn't it be for all? But she says for many, or they say for many, not all. Many. By the way, how did this chick get into a master's program? How did she overcome the obvious patterns of teachers interpreting her as being special needs and got all the way to a master's program? How did that happen? She has dark skin. She has lots of melanin. How did that happen? I don't know. Here's even the better part. This is the next paragraph. Listen to this very carefully. The curriculum has also been unsafe. I was wondering why these ambulances keep showing up to school, because the curriculum is puncturing them and kids bleeding all over the place and broken bones and all kinds of shit. The curriculum is unsafe. It has detached students of color, LGBTQIA plus students, and multilingual children as they learn that they are not normal. Really? Because I bet, do the Asians get a lot of people who look like them in their books and studies and stuff? I've always wondered that. Because I'm sorry, thank you, C. Thomas, for another deuce saying this teacher is extremely condescending. Fucking hell, she is. It's so condescending. It's just, it's, dare I say, it's true racism. Miss Savior Woman. They distort the experience of indigenous and black communities and of immigrant groups. They describe whiteness, heteronormativity, and English as normal and desirable. Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad in an English-speaking country. Being away from school this past year gave many children opportunities to learn and practice new skills, to encounter experiences that in-person schooling often neglects, such as museum exhibits and other places. Really, I'm sure a lot of those special needs, quote unquote, students, I'm sure they were all hanging out at the museums. During the pandemic, how did they do that? I thought the museums were closed. Such as museum exhibits in other places, films and concerts, histories and stories to counter the dominant narratives. Really? How did these kids get to do all this cool shit when everyone else was locked down? Children organized themselves for learning, took on responsibilities at home, and developed new independence capabilities. We need to learn what children have been making, reading, watching, thinking, and wondering. Imagine a return to in-person schooling that, rather than racing to fill gaps and remedy losses, activity sought to explore the learning that children do outside of formal schooling and to build on and connect. Well, they can do that all year round. Oh my gosh. Now that's interesting. Look at her here. She dyed her hair black for this one. Over in this other article, she's all gray-maned and shit. And she went to, okay, so one's after the other. That's interesting. Anyway, let's see. When black children are disproportionately the ones being sent out of class and punished in school, all children see this and develop assumptions about who breaks the rules and who acts out. I bet there's a formula for that. Sorry, my own experience is that. Anyway, thank you, Maddie, for dropping a link in the sponsored bucket. The more they find things to label racism, the more they show their racist colors. Yeah, ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? I'm gonna go over today. That's okay. I don't have to be in until 6. Oh my gosh. As districts emerge from the quarantine of last year, the plans for a safe return to school must take a fuller view of the safety needed to dismantle anti-blackness and white supremacy in our educational systems. What is anti-blackness? I'm sure that in these liberal bastions that are our schools, that there's a lot of anti-blackness. Yes, God. It requires instead planning for a return to in-person learning schooling in ways that build from where children are and what they know and can do, rather than constructed imagings of where they ought to be. It centers on deliberately welcoming children and lifting up their strengths, not assaulting them with a barrage of tests aimed at signaling the urgency of their so-called inadequacies. It means that educators need to commit to creating classrooms in which all children are cared for and nourished, not controlled. It means creating schools where all children's capabilities are seen and valued, and their freedom and right to learn are supported, not obstructed. Jesus. I'm sorry. Does anyone have any some tomatoes and croutons for that word salad? I'm sorry. All right, let's go to the other article, because this is probably gonna be apropos as to what we just read, and then we're gonna just kind of use this one to what's the word they like to use? Dismantle their thinking. This is gonna be just the opposite of it. No standard, no problem. Equity is equality of outcome among racial and ethnic groups. Remember, I said whenever you see the word equity, you better run. Recently, the pursuit of equity in education, criminal justice, and the professions has resulted in an impressive string of victories. In education, equity warriors have been frustrated by a stubborn pattern in SAT and ACT scores. For decades, Asians have scored higher than whites, who have scored higher than Hispanics, who have scored higher than blacks. These differences seem impervious to any K-12 education policy tinkering, regardless of the policy, ideological origin. Busing, charters, vouchers, increased spending, and universal testing have failed to close these uncomfortable gaps. Finally, in 2020, Stupid 19 provided the equity commissars a solution to their SAT, ACT problem. Many college bureaucrats who hope to increase the percentage of non-Asian minorities they're non-Asian minorities have discarded the SAT and ACT requirements for admission. At first, it was temporary, but then for many, it became permanent. The outcome is freshman classes with demographics that are now deemed more equitable. No standards, no problem. Equity! Oh, have some equity! It's not just higher education that's abandoning objective standards, selective admissions. Middle school and high schools that use a test as part of the admissions process have been targeted by the equity enforcers. Again, if you see the word equity, it's time to run. Due to admissions tests, student bodies at these prestigious selective schools in New York City and Virginia have actually become less white, but are not in the way the equity crowd wants. They have apparently become too Asian. Oh, I got to show this article to my sister. I have two sisters that are Asian. My mother's other two daughters are half Taiwanese, and they're brilliant, and so are their children. And I love them. Anyway, the equity solution ditched the admission test in favor of a lottery. This would purge these students of those equity thwarting overachieving Asian students. No standard, no problem. Equity! The quest for equity also threatens gifted programs around the country. The demographics of these programs frequently aren't necessarily reflected of a school's overall student body. For the equity mob, this is an offense that needs to be rectified. Since admission standards to gifted programs are in part determined by testing and grades, some of these very programs have been deemed inequitable and must be eliminated. No standards, no problem. The equity warriors aren't just focused on the higher end of the achievement curve. Most states require some sort of demonstration of actual learning before students graduate high school. Until recently, in 27 states, high school students had to pass an exit exam. Now only 11 requirement. The disparate impact these exams have on Black and Hispanic students has been cited as a reason. In fact, I was just going to mention Oregon, but they have it right here in the article. Other states have more nuanced graduation requirement, which allows students to demonstrate proficiency through research papers, projects, exhibitions, and other performance assessments. Oregon had such a flexible requirement until this week when the governor had signed a bill suspending the state's proficiency requirement. In other words, you don't have to be able to read or write or do basic math to graduate. Equity means we're going to be dumber than fuck. Criminal justice has also been impacted by equity. Several progressive district attorneys around the country have ceased prosecuting many crimes in the name of equity. In Los Angeles, George Gascon refuses to prosecute trespassing, disturbing the peace, driving with no license or a suspended license, making criminal threats, drug possession, drinking in public, loitering to commit prostitution, and resisting arrest, among others. San Francisco DA Chelsea Boudin, who might be on Chase Boudin, is also a shitbag, refuses to prosecute crimes such as public camping. Public camping. Anyway, homelessness, which, homeless is not a crime, but just whatever. Offering or soliciting sex, public urination, blocking a sidewalk. He also prosecutes shoplifting at much lower rates than even his progressive predecessor. Progressive DAs in Chicago, Seattle, New York, and Philadelphia have also refused to prosecute numerous crimes, citing their disparate impacts. These property and nuisance criminal laws are a standard of minimally acceptable behavior. Yet, these standards have been discarded in the name of equity. This isn't to argue that no laws need to be reconsidered. Across the country in red and blue states, marijuana laws have been relaxed or discarded with a variety of rationales. Some reforms may be prudent despite their furthering of the equity fad. Standards are also under siege in many professions. Medical students. No. Well, medical students are required to take the United States Medical Licensing Examination, the USMLE. Step 1. Exam after the first year of medical school. Since the exam was initiated, the group average scores of Asians and whites have been higher than those of Hispanics and blacks. Starting in 2022, the scores will be reported as pass, fail with the hope that non-Asian minorities will benefit from this change because it reduces the effect of an inequitable exam. Well, oh my God. Is that really what we want? Is that really what we want? Similarly, Slated referred to the 150-plus-year-old institution of the bar exam for attorneys as a relic of a racist club. Yeah. Oh my God. A Washington Post education writer also argued for the bar exam's abolition, citing, among other reasons, the poor test passage rate of African Americans. Despite many states suspending the bar last year because of the pandemic, no state has signaled the permanent abolition of their bar exam. Good. I hope that doesn't happen. Perhaps the financial self-interest of lawyer legislators and state bar association members has prevented the equity zealots from abolishing this standard, at least for now. Yeah, because they're in that club. See, they're the medical club. Not a whole lot of legislators are in the medical club, but a whole bunch of them are lawyers. And anyway, last year, in an attempt at upholding the standard of objectivity in promotions, the United States Navy banned the inclusion of officers' photos in files being examined to determine advancement. Now, promotion packages will again use photos after data suggested minorities are less likely to be selected blindly in some situations by promotion review boards. So they tried to make choosing officers, well, for a lack of a better term, colorblind. And they found that when they went strictly by scores and testing and their merit, unfortunately, they got fewer minority candidates. So now they're going to choose to be anti-racist and put more black people in those positions, regardless of the data that, normally used to determine whether you're going to have officers or not. The standard that hiring should be without bias is a recurring hindrance to equity. Perhaps the purest form of merit-based hiring is the blind audition used by orchestras. Since the widespread adoption of judging aspiring classical musicians solely on the quality of their music without seeing the auditioner, America's orchestras have gone from about 6% female in 1970 to about almost half today. However, under this strict meritocracy, black membership has remained under 2%. Not surprisingly, those demanding equity have targeted the blind audition. The New York Times classical music critic has argued to make orchestras more diverse, end blind auditions. Now, as a former music major at a university that wasn't super diverse anyway, but I rarely saw music majors of color who played stringed instruments or orchestra instruments. And most of the music majors of color were either performance majors in voice often, or they were in the more let's say horn section for the most, or unless it was an electric bass. Like there was there's one dude who's a bass player. Oh, this guy can slap the bass like a motherfucker. But anyway, in orchestra, you want to make orchestras more diverse, right? Okay. Oh, you know what though? Now I'm one who attends an orchestra every once in a while, the Minnesota Orchestra with our friend, and because she has season tickets to the orchestra, so I go every once in a while. And there was this one time that we went to the orchestra, and sometimes they'll have groups in the lobby playing before the symphony that they're doing that day, and there was this really cool group of young black kids. Like there was about 20 in a small orchestra playing, you know, violins, stringed instruments, stuff. And I thought that was the coolest thing. You know, it was great that they were there. And you know, when they got to go backstage and visit with the musicians and things, I don't know that they gave a shit whether or not these people looked like them, but whether or not they played the same instrument as them, you know. And that's what the kids were fascinated with. But you're not gonna to make orchestras more diverse and blind auditions. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Oh, those poor blind people, what did they do? True. Anyway, oh, the stupidity. You know, I had a whole do I want to get any of these other ones? Oh, well, you know what? I'm going to go through them real quick. I'm just going to go through them because some of these are kind of humorous. God, F these equity nuts. Okay? Oh. So, just some of the other headlines you can check out later. The Ben & Jerry's founder doubles down on his anti-Israel boycott. I was going to try to say a derogatory term for them, but anyway, he defends the company's decision amid legal blowback from the U.S. states. Ben & Jerry's defended his decision to restrict sales in Israel on Monday, with the founder telling the anti-Israel activist group Americans for Peace now that he was proud of the boycott. We did it. We are proud of it, said Ben & Jerry co-founder Ben Cohen on the Monday call. Even as the company faces legal blowback from several U.S. states, we consistently use our voice to stand up for justice. And the amazing thing that we discovered over the years is that the more we do that, the more ice cream we sell. Well, good. Good for you. It's still stupid. 8 states have said they're considering sanctioning Ben & Jerry's or its parent company, Unilever, under anti-boycott laws after the ice cream maker announced that it would halt sales in Jewish neighborhoods in disputed areas of Israel, according to the Jewish Telegraph. In some ways I don't care. I wish that if, you know, and I am a friend of Israel, so to speak, and I think it's the one blight in the Middle East that does good and has, you know, whatever, the one democracy in the Middle East. I don't know that we need to be giving money to Israel all the time, but I do think it's important that that state survive and, you know, whatever it is. And I don't care if Ben & Jerry's sell ice cream in Israel, but I wish Israelis would stop buying Ben & Jerry's if that's what they're, you know, if they don't agree with Ben Cohen. Ben Cohen gonna go suck an egg. Let's see. Rent cat. Oh, and Rashida Taliban. We all know her, right? Her rent cancellation advocate, Rashida Tlaib, cleaned up as a landlord during the pandemic. She collected rent as she vilified landlords. Oh my God, what is that? Representative Rashida Tlaib collected up to $50,000 in rent payments last year, even as she publicly criticized landlords and supported an eviction moratorium that has hurt other small landlords. Tlaib, who in December stressed the need to protect Americans from landlords and bill collectors in the midst of a pandemic, disclosed in an annual financial statement this month that she took in between $15,000 and $50,000 in rent on a Detroit property. Oh my God, she is an evil landlord. I wonder if the squad's going to kick her out for this. Tlaib is not only the squad member who has raked in thousands of dollars as a landlord. She's not the only one. Representative Ayanna Pressley collected up to $15,000 in rental income in both 2019 and 2020 through a Boston property she owns. Her financial disclosures show. Like Tlaib, Pressley slammed landlords for collecting rent during the pandemic, calling the issue literally a matter of life and death. Oh my God. Oh my God, they are landlords. They dirty bitches. Oh my God. I shouldn't have used the word bitches because I didn't mean that from a gendered standpoint. I just meant like Joe Biden's dirty bitch too. Anyway, moving on. Andrew Cuomo Andrew Cuomo's final days as governor is going to commute and pardon 10 felons, including 3 tied to killings. Oh, good for him. Good for him. They should make it so that they can't do that. I don't know. Days after giving 2 weeks notice that he would resign his office amid a serial sexual harassment scandal, Governor Andrew Cuomo is using the unprecedented lame duck period to grant clemency and pardons to 10 felons, including 3 convicts tied to killings. Cuomo, 3-term Democrat forced to resign to avoid impeachment, said, "One of the foundation promises of New York State is that of equal justice, and you know what I mean, and in equal compassion for all under the law. Today, I'm proud to fulfill government's unique responsibility to harness the power of redemption, encourage those who have made mistakes, and to engage in a meaningful rehabilitation, and empower everyone to work toward a better future for themselves and their families." Cuomo commuted the sentence of Nehru Gums, 36, who was convicted of first-degree manslaughter and criminal possession of a weapon and assault in 2005, crimes committed when he was 16. Gums was fingered for the brutal shooting death of an innocent bystander heading to his Carnegie home from a midnight church service in New Year's Eve of 2004. He has served 17 years of a 25-year sentence, has served as a youth counselor at Sing Sing Prison, and earned an associate's degree from Mercy College and is pursuing a job as a plumber. Okay, look, I have no problem with that one. He was 16 years old when it happened. He served 17 of 25 years. He's doing shit in prison that he's doing things to get his life better. Fine. No problem. Cuomo also granted clemency to John Adrian Velasquez, 45, who was convicted of second-degree murder, attempted murder, and 3 counts of robbery in 1999. Velasquez was sentenced in the shooting death of a retired police officer, Albert Ward, at an illegal gambling hall in Harlem in 1988. He claims he was wrongly convicted of. Well, aren't they all? He may, and who knows, maybe he was. His plea to have his conviction overturned was championed by actor Martin Sheen, great, who met with him and appeared in press conferences on his behalf. Well, if the celebrity says let him out, then you know he's telling the truth. And they've got a list of other ones. You know what? I don't, once you resign, I don't know if you give yourself a 2-week period, then start giving pardons out in that 2-week lame duck period. That just seems weird to me. Just saying. From legal insurrection, New York State Assembly will continue the Cuomo investigation. Yes! The investigation includes the nursing home death scandal during the Stupid 19. They've decided to continue the investigation of Governor Andrew Cuomo. The AG investigation already found he sexually harassed at least 11 women. The Assembly chose to suspend the investigation since Cuomo will officially resign in the coming days. However, the Assembly Speaker said that since he could not impeach the former governor, the Assembly stopped the investigation. Democrats and Republicans fumed, which caused reversal. So they're going to go ahead and keep, at least on, they're going to keep the investigation on both his handsy-touchy problems and the Meemaw massacre. So good. They need to continue that investigation. Also legal insurrection. Gavin Newsom's panicky new ad says recall outcome is a matter of life and death. Let's watch the ad. Where's Gavin Newsom's, where's his ad? Here it is. Here's, here's the ad from Gavin, as in, who calls him bang your wife? Jericho Green, because he apparently got caught having sex with his best friend's wife.
With Delta surging.
Here we go. Here's the new Gavin Newsom ad.
What's at stake in the September 14th recall? It's a matter of life and death.
Life and death.
With Delta surging, Gavin Newsom is protecting California, requiring vaccination for health workers and school employees. The top Republican candidate? He peddled deadly conspiracy theories and would eliminate vaccine mandates on day one, threatening school closures and our recovery. stop the spread.
Recovery? Whoa, what? Recovery? Not in California. Not with all that shit going on. What are you talking about?
Return your ballot or vote in person by September 14th. Protect California by voting no on the Republican recall.
On the Republican recall, except there's a ton of Democrats also wanting to recall him. Anyway, students praise Kamala Harris but can't name a single achievement. This is one of those videos, isn't it? How long is this one? It's 5 minutes long, but you got to watch this video. It's a campus reform video where all these students are praising her, but they have no idea who she is, pretty much. They don't know anything about her, don't know anything that she's ever done. It's amazing to have a woman as vice president. We're making great headway with that. She's definite girl boss. And when asked what achievements, one woman said she agreed with Kamala's policy, but choked when asked to name a few. Just check that out. I'm not going to do it because I'm going to try to get out of here. Let's see. Nobody asked. Oh, did anyone see this video of Chuck Schumer trying to rap? This is pathetic. Okay.
How's everybody feeling out here?
Okay, Chuck, that was fucking fantastic. Okay, not. Let's see. I'm just telling you what's in the tabs because I'm closing it down. Twitter says Taliban can stay on the platform if they obey the rules. I'm sorry, I didn't realize I didn't have this centered. Twitter says Taliban can stay on the platform if they obey the rules. Didn't Alex Jones obey the Twitter rules? Oh, wait. They banned him for something he did off platform. Huh. I wonder, and stay with me here. I wonder if the Taliban has done or could do anything off platform that would be against the Twitter rules. Unlike former President Donald Trump, the faces and voices of the reconstituted Taliban regime in Afghanistan can apparently tweet to their heart's content. In a statement obtained by Mediaite Tuesday, Twitter ducked the question of whether it would bar representatives of the Islamic fundamentalist government from getting their message out in 280 characters at a time, saying that only it would continue to proactively enforce its rules outlawing glorification of violence, platform manipulation, and spam. Well, isn't that special? Congratulations. And in the meantime, we know that, and this is funny because everyone's talking about it, Twitter calls out Facebook's censoring and lack of free speech. Now, again, this is just, this is almost, dare I say it, Jinping-esque. This is some trolling by Facebook, or excuse me, by the Taliban. But on the other hand, it's propaganda, because the question I believe the woman asked was something about whether or not women and girls would still have their rights and yada, yada, yada. And he went into this diatribe about how, the Americans talk about free speech, but then, Facebook and some of these social media don't practice what they preach, blah, 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 blah. And we gave him this propaganda free, no special charges, no special charge. Anyway, all right, let's see. What else is on here? I got, at least it's Candace Owens again. Always on my damn screen somewhere. Now, did you hear about this? Okay, we're going to finish. I'm going to come back to this one, and that's a beer. I'll do that later. That's for my blog, and that's an email, and this is done with PayPal. I'm going to finish with this. Let's finish with this. Because Carrie Underwood, this country star, beautiful lady. I think she has 3 kids now, and she's a country singer and was American Idol winner and whatnot. Well, she's in a little bit of trouble with the leftists because, country stars, especially for liking a Matt Walsh person. I don't care what you think about Matt Walsh at the Daily Wire. He's kind of a he's right sometimes, but he's also kind of a douchebag. But, he's very opinionated and always right in his opinion. And I don't think the problem I have with him is him being wrong on things. Just sometimes the takes are just done in a way that you're not going to, I don't care about catching flies with honey, but you don't have to be fucking vinegar all the time either. Anyway, so Carrie Underwood is in trouble with the left because Twitter users from the leftists and reacted in outrage Tuesday afternoon after country music star Carrie Underwood liked a post, just for liking a post, God forbid, by Daily Wire commentator Matt Walsh. The post in question featured a video of Walsh addressing a Nashville school board over its decision to institute a mask mandate for all students for the 21-22 school year. So Walsh says, let's see, what? So here's what he said. He said, you and the school board have decided that our kids should go to school all day, every day, wearing muzzles like rabid dogs. I have listened to your arguments, and I've noticed that they're missing a few things, namely evidence, science, data, common sense, and basic human decency. If you think I'm exaggerating, then how would you respond to a parent who's forced his kid to wear a football helmet every day, all day, for fear of falling coconuts and meteors? You would say to that parent that he is abusive, that he is forcing his kids to participate in this utterly insane charade in order to satisfy his delusional psychotic hypochondria. You do it to make yourselves feel better and protect yourselves politically. The child's mask is a symbolic security blanket for you, not them. It's a disgrace, and you should all be ashamed. Hey, like I said, sometimes I vehemently agree with Matt Walsh. So the school board voted to mandate masks for all students after the CDC updated its guidance on masking in schools. Due to the circulating highly contagious Delta variant, CDC recommends universal indoor masking by all students aged 2 and older, staff, teachers, and visitors to K through 12 schools, which is, we know they don't work for shit, but that's okay. We're just going to look good by doing it. So Underwood, a resident of Nashville, also appeared to appreciate his comments, earning the ire of leftists like political consultant and LGBT activist Jeremy Hooper. Who? It's not just that Carrie Underwood liked an anti-mask tweet, complained Hooper. It's that Carrie Underwood liked an anti-mask tweet from Matt Walsh, one of the most negligently histrionic voices on the topic of protecting kids from COVID. Author and progressive pastor John Pavlovitz also took a shot at the Jesus Take the Wheel singer, saying, Carrie Underwood, being God over science person, is the least surprising thing I've heard today. Delta take the wheel. Hey, John Pavlovitz, take a seat, bitch. See, I used it for a guy too. It's a non-gendered term. And reality show star Andy Herron, a reality show star just like Donald Trump, cool, of Big Brother fame, said, Kelly Clarkson has always been our best American Idol winner and will always be our best American Idol winner. Fuck Carrie Underwood. Well, fuck you, you piece of shit, nobody face, pig fucking jag off. Anyway. Did I go too far? Is that goodbye monetization? Anyway, for his part, Walsh jokingly joined the outrage mob, tweeting, "Like anyone else, I'm upset and disturbed that Carrie Underwood liked one of my tweets. She should know better than to indirectly endorse the opinions of an extremist and scoundrel such as myself. Her lack of judgment is appalling. I demand she renounce me and apologize." I don't know if I want her to renounce me. There's other things. Anyway, I'm not going to go there. I'm happily married. Anyway, hey, gang. I got to call it a day. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Morning Night Live Afternoon Edition. I believe, I'm not 100% sure, that tomorrow I will be back in the morning. I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to try to, because I think Lady Boomer has to be to work really early, and when she has to be there really early, then I can get back in time to do the show. But if not, it will be in the afternoon like this. And then Friday, it'll be a morning show. And I think I have a guest. I'm going to try to have a guest on Friday. So anyway, we're here Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, and 1500 GMTs on normal days. Did I say GMTs? Don't tease me like that. On normal days. And, before you click up anything else, hit the like button if you haven't done so already. 47 likes, that's pretty good. With 21 viewers left, so I like that, but there's a couple of you hadn't clicked it yet, so click the like button. Share the stream if you haven't done it already. Thank you, Kiever Dam, for doing that. I know you do it almost every single time. And if you'd like to sponsor the show, you know how to do it. I'm not going to bug you about that. I mean, I love it when people do it, and I appreciate it more than you know. It helps immensely. But those of you who are not able to, I'm fine with that too. Just keep enjoying the show. Keep chatting in the chat and leaving comments in the comment section, especially if you're watching a replay. And we'll do that thing, and I appreciate it. So anyway, that's all I got today, people. Time for me to go. My name is Dawg Knight. Oh yeah, all those articles will be in the description down below in the second paragraph. And I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is Dawg Knight, and thank you for watching today on the Dawg Knight Channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cashapp, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.